Turn your radio on. Pardon me.
Buy the new Galaxy S24 FE from Samsung by the 31st of October and claim a Galaxy Watch FE within 30 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
So I might do, clean the screen.
You join us now with this penalty shootout lock. It's an unbelievable 19-all.
And I think I've wired up my speakers.
2019 now. Oh, this is going to be a long night. You're still in.
That one, I think, tonight.
Now, search now sports 18 plus stream via internet test supply.
Don't think Liverpool are playing today. So
89 and 1053 medium wave on your mobile and on your smart speaker. And October 1st.
To avoid further regional escalation. The UK said was working with allies to de-escalate the situation across the region. Business leaders have voiced their concerns after it emerged the Chancellor is likely to increase the national insurance rate for employers in Wednesday's budget. Rachel Reeves is expected to raise the rate by 2 percentage points and lower the threshold at which employers have to start paying it. Alice Ushumba runs a healthcare provider in Southampton. She says any rise to the employer's NI rate will hit her business hard.
We pay lower than Tesco, Amazon, McDonald's because we don't have the funding. So if I have to pay more in national insurance on top of what I already have to pay, this will affect
Yeah, we
our
got,
profit margins, which are not great already. Our business
tonight, well, later.
business, we get something like 60p.
in between the, but I said I was going to do it last night, but I didn't.
With Cheshire Police as they investigate an alleged assault involving him overnight.
But
Footage on social media appears to show the MP for Runcorn and
let me turn that down.
lying in the road in Frodsham.
We've still got this specials album to listen to, guys. On the clear vinyl, I've put my new stylus in, so we're going to listen to a brand new record later with a brand new stylus, and hopefully I've got piles of speakers everywhere, and hopefully we turn it on and they'll work. I think I did a little tester at about 4 in the morning, but obviously I couldn't turn it right up. But yeah, so at some point we'll play this record. But there's a bit of boxing on tonight which I want to catch, but there's only the main fight that I want to watch. In fact, we could turn it on in a minute, see if it works. Very quiet. Seems very quiet today, guys and girls. And don't forget, if you're in the UK, don't forget to move your clocks back. Is it back? Maybe we should move it back to the 1940s, when this country had some bollocks. How about that? We can turn our clocks back to then. Maybe that wasn't too politically correct of me to say that, but who gives a shit? Yeah. Don't forget your clocks. And obviously, don't know if you've seen all my clocks downstairs. I've got quite a few to swap about. No, mate, I've seen nothing of it, Joe. I watched. No, nothing. Any trouble? I hope not. Won't do. But to be honest, send Bernie in, Tucker. Could do, mate. He'd get a good book out of it, wouldn't he? Or 7. Nah, I was saying, because what I think happens, you see, I think, obviously, LBC, the media, just says, oh, loony rights or loony lefts, when really it ain't any of it. I think they make it up as they go along, some of them news reporters, like the big ones, so to speak, or the ones connected to the government. And I think a lot of these marches, I think you get them all turn up anyway. I think you get the peaceful ones turn up. You get the peaceful ones who want to oppose the other ones turn up, but then you also get your bods on both sides that want to fucking rumble. Do you know what I mean? So I think they sort of hijack it, but to be honest with you, I've been looking at the whole Tommy Robinson case a bit more, because I wasn't really right into it. Well, I'm not into him. I just realised that they've got it in for him, or the government, or someone has, for sure. Because when he arrived here yesterday, well, what they're saying, Tucker, what he's been nicked with is 4 years maximum. But I've heard one bloke say they might give him a 2. But to be honest with you, like one bloke rang up and said on the radio last night, really, the judge should say to him, right, Tommy, your fucking video, your book or whatever, you're stopping that and bind him over for 2 years, give him a suspended sentence. So obviously they've got to give him something. But all it is for, guys, they say it's terrorism, fucking whatever, down at Folkestone. All it is when they nicked him, right, he didn't give them his password for his phone. Yeah, to be honest with you, it's part of the Terrorism Act that you've got to give them all this information. But it really is Tommy fucking, what's his name? Really? He ain't a terrorist, he's an activist. There's a big difference. Joe's saying he'll get out. Tucker's saying they're making him bit. Well, they are, really. And to be honest with you, if you rewind it and have a look at the whole thing, all he's done is bubbled up a couple of Muslim group sort of gang raping things. You know what I mean? He went up to the bloke outside court. Believe you're up for fucking gang raping, grooming and that today. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. To be honest with you, he's just reporting what was going on. Crazy. But I don't know. So many agendas out there. They've all got their own little agenda. Even the ones that come across squeaky clean, and yeah, you might think, yeah, they're all right. They've all got hidden agendas. It's all about the agenda. Otherwise, why are they doing it? That's what I think. On the Lewis Hamiltons tonight. Tell you what I've got to do. Plug this charger in. Oh. Got my wireless charger. Oh yeah. And apparently, I've heard that he won't go in protection. He go on the main land. Well, he won't have a say in it. They'll just put him there. And I heard Yami B talking about Kent jails last night. Well, you're not completely clued up. Because there's more jails in Kent than what he said. In fact, he mentioned Canterbury and Elmley. There's actually one next door to Elmley, a high security one. Spoilside. Canterbury, I've been in that prison. Elmley, I've been in that prison. But then again, Yami B, who does talk a lot of bollocks sometimes, is saying he'll be moved straight to the maximum security jail, which I don't think he will necessarily. But who knows? But what I do think, they've remanded him till next week, I think. He could be doing local remand, which I've done in the police cells. They just move you around, man. Well, they don't just leave you in a police cell. That's called local remand. He could be doing lots of things, but he's probably... Well, to be honest with you, if you watch the James English podcast, which has come out the night before, he got sort of nicked. He's resigned himself that he's going down, so he's prepared. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose as soon as Tommy Robinson rolls into the jail, every Muslim and his brother are on him. But to be honest with you, he's grown up in Luton, which he shouldn't be that fazed by him, really. He's grown up in a real heavily multicultural area, Luton. Whether he can have a row or not, different matter, but he looks like he could, but you don't know, do you? Oh yeah, he'll be sitting there tonight wondering. Well, he won't know. He won't know. That's the worst thing about it. When you're, it's all right when you're convicted, you get your dates. Do you know what I mean? But when you're just hanging, it's a bit of a brain killer. Depends if you can switch off, man. I realised as soon as I went to Hollesley Bay where the Essex boys met when I was 17, the Young Offenders Institution. And I learned from a young age that it's either going to make you or it's going to break you, or somewhere like that. And I decided that I was getting through it anyway. So, but then that's me. Do you know what I mean? I ain't Tommy. He might be sitting there cracking up. Do you know what I mean? Because when he come out of Belmarsh, he was mentally deranged. And if you went in there and you weren't really built for it, it would crack you up. I can imagine what would play on your mind, but depends where you've grown up. Do you know what I mean? How you've grown up. If you've grown up running about on the streets like me, you'd probably fare all right. If you've lived the right sheltered life, you didn't hang about on the streets, you're probably in for a right eye opener. But to be honest with you, I'd already decided when I was 17, the minute I come down from the court into the cell, I thought, fucking hell, I'm going to jail. Well, young offenders. But I already was of the mindset that nobody's touching me, another screw or another kid. I mean, I already, it's a mindset. Depends how you've grown up, man. To be honest with you. But when you first walk into jail and everyone's looking round, that's, you know what I mean? Depends how you are. Yeah, mate. That old stuff don't help, does it? Getting all that up your hooter, man. It's a brain killer, man, all that shit. I know what you mean, Tucker. Anyway, good evening to everyone out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's spark this spliff up. Still on the AK-47 that my mate's selling me for £15 an eighth. Only problem, it's a little bit damp. I've dried a bit of it. So. What's what look like? The AK, this. It's right, you've answered me a bit quick there, Tucker. I thought my live was a few seconds behind, but you're straight in there with a comment. Oh, right, we must be pretty live then, man. You're answering straight away. I thought there was a little delay, man. Can't be. What it looks like is... the AK. Northern Lights, man. Ooh, I'll tell you what, best weed I ever had. The best weed I ever had was Northern Lights, right? Cross Purple Haze. And it was purple, man, the weed, right? And I tell you what, I was tripping me bollocks off, man. Skywalker. Me pal's growing some nice skunk, apparently, as well. Yeah. Purple Haze Cross Northern Lights blew my brain off, man. Best weed I've ever had. Ever. And it was purple, man. It was purple, like bright purple. Yeah, I think I've had that one before. Oh, there's so many strains, isn't there? This stuff's alright. In fact, out of all the stuff that my different pals grow, matey around the road, it's done very well, it is. Oh yeah, I can remember when the only bit of weed you had, this was way before the skunk and all the hybrids and all that shit, back in the day. I'm going back to the late 80s, middle of the 80s, 85 onwards. The only bit of weed you got, and all you old school buds out there will know what I'm on about, the only bit of weed you got was a bit of Thai weed with all the string in it and a load of seeds. That was the only weed that really was there. Solid. I can put my hands up to having some of that Essex Boys puff. Me and my pal bought a bar of that off my brother. We still sold it. It was proper shit, but it did something to you. Yeah, so the Essex Boys smoke got into Kent, but then I ain't that far from Essex, as the bird flies. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I've got to look into it, Joe. There's a lot of scam companies out there trying to do the initial consultation for like loads of money, just to tell you whether you're entitled to it or not, and then you get a prescription after that. Well, I know that I'm entitled to it. So I'm looking around at the moment. I know for a fact that neurological, this goes for anyone out there that's got, all I can really talk for is ADHD and autistic spectrum disorders. So I know that I'm entitled to it straight away, but I think the rules are you've got to have tried a couple of other meds. But then I asked the girl on the phone, couldn't I use the weed in conjunction with the meds? And she said, yeah. Cali packs? What do you mean? Cali weed I've had, and my pal's got all sorts of weird things in. Especially one of my other pals, he gets all the vapes and that, but real strong. Like, I went in his house one night, so I get a bit of weed now and again off him. He lives in town. He said, have a blast on this, Phil. It was like just neat THC. And I come out there, didn't even know where I was. Yeah, autism, ADHD, that's definitely. I give it to a lot of kids that have fits all the time, and it just cures them. $70 to $100, that's a lot of dough, isn't it? Really? Multiple sclerosis, I'm with you. I think next door neighbour's daughter's got that. In fact, I used to look after this woman before I got diagnosed many moons ago. I used to be my dad's carer, and when my dad died, I went to work for a lady and her husband, and she had MS. She was in a wheelchair. Couldn't move her bottom half, but she could move her top half. But her fella, who was an ex-army man, he couldn't move. He could just move his head. So I had to sort of do everything for him. But yeah, they had that. And they had weed as well. Because I remember one night, that's when I told her that I smoked it. I put her into bed. She got like a lift. I put her into bed. She said, oh, will you reach in my bag, Phil, and get me that blue pen out? I said, yeah, of course I can. I'll give her a blue pen. And she's, I said, what's that all about then? I said, what you on there then? And then she said that's like the weed pen. And it was all, back then it was just being trialled. But she said she has a couple of blasts on that, and it enables her to sleep properly. But yeah, what else is there? There's other stuff you can get it for as well. Loads. There's a few things. My battery's done at 71%. I've got to get another fast charging cable. And I've got to also next week get a new phone screen and back. That's going to be a costly experience. Yeah, I've done mushrooms and acid. First started on acid. I can remember the first acid house parties. Back in the day. Back in the late 80s. Shrooms. Microdots, purpleums. The list is endless. Anyway. It's on the sideband. Best E I've ever had. Get that back into AM.
Because the shape's the thing. Yeah, he's on the extra ball. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. No, he's got so many options.
I would say the best ecstasy tablet I've ever done. Mitsubishi speckled. Yeah, I remember all them. Pink Callies, the Doves, Speckled Ends, Dennis the Menaces, Rhubarb and Custards. They were pretty strong. I think they came out of Essex. Something to do with the Essex boys. Some other ones, probably the strongest. Well, we didn't know what I think some people called them M25s, and some people called them little bastards. They were pretty full on. But that was when pills was proper. You used to do a pill and you'd be rolling around on the carpet with your eyes in the back of your head, brushing your tits off for hours. Yeah. What other ones? Loads of them, done them all. Yeah, man, I've got to fucking go and find that cable because that's not even charging. No, it's not. I think I've got it on the charging pad, but it ain't actually doing anything. Right now. Very quiet. Seems very quiet tonight, man. And the clocks go back, don't they, tonight? An extra hour in bed. I ended up last night. Oh, the mattress is still up, by the way, in the tent. I ended up going out in the tent at about 4 in the morning. I run an extension lead. Until it's getting cold, I run an extension lead out there. And I had my little fan blower going on. It was like packing, like I was in some sort of, on a Barbados beach out there. Quite nice actually having the fan on, but probably cost me about £3 in electric running it, but keeps you nice and warm. See if this battery goes to 69% to 70. Because what I do want to do tonight, what's the time? Oh, it's still early. We're going to spin that specials record. Test out the new stylus. See if we've got any sound. I believe that I've got 4 speakers connected that side. And I've got 3 connected this side with another one to go in. In fact, what I'll do, I'm going to jump off here now, everyone. But I'll be back in about half an hour with the specials.